I got something real important that I want to talk about. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put the title up in here later. I just want to say a couple. I may not be as long, but it depends. Yeah, it may not be long, but it all depends. I just want to say this here, and let me turn my camera off. All right, this is what I want to say, and I'm not putting they name in the title. If I decide to mention it, I might mention it now. Let's see here. One, two, three. Um, Mr. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Um, See, what people need to understand with that, the whole moral of the story of the whole story, it just goes to show you. Look, first and foremost, people wishing for that man's stuff to be taken away. Some people, I mean, we as a so-called people of color, so-called black people, we have our problems at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? We have our problems. We all have our problems in our own way. Everybody does not have the same struggles. When you look at the Hollywood movie star industry in the in the in that their environment in their where in their excuse me in their world in the movie star world or whatever, it doesn't matter what type of high position that you're in. At the end of the day, it just goes to show you that no matter what you got or how much you got, at the end of the day, money and any everything, it does not bring happiness. Money can't bring happiness. It just goes to show you in the time of a chaotic situation, sometimes your money can't do you, won't even do you no good. And it was just laid up. It was just up on my spirit is to say something about it. You see what I'm saying? Everybody, just like no matter what you got or how much you got or how rich you is, you still going through it. Sometimes your money can't even get you out of trouble. Sometimes money can't even bring you happiness. Sometimes, no matter how much you got, at the end of the day, even the rich people still have problems. You see what I'm saying? And for somehow, a lot of my people think somehow. Now, the only thing that I can say and will say, money brings, it can bring temporarily happiness, but it doesn't bring joy. There's a difference between joy and happiness. You see what I'm saying? For the most part, you see what I'm saying? It depends on, there are many different definitions of the word happy. You know, there's a happy that could mean joy. There's another happiness that could mean just emotional. Happiness is when I say I have joy, people may have a many different definitions of what joy is. Joy could just mean you just holding on. You're strong and you're holding on. Joy, you can be sad and still can have joy. You see what I'm saying? So I believe that's the only difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is just an emotion. It's only temporary. Happiness is based upon I feel happy right now or whatever. And it's a emotional feeling in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel good at the moment. It's like a high. But joy is something that lasts for eternity. Joy is eternal. Happiness is only temporarily. You see what I'm saying? When I say temporarily, it means that it doesn't like it's just like a high. When a person go out there and get high on drugs or get just it feels good in the moment. You see what I'm saying? You may stay high for maybe 3 hours, maybe 2 hours, 2, 3, 4 hours. And when the high wears off, you back to where you was before you started and you back where you was stressed out where you was. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Now, what's the difference in between happiness? Happiness joy is you can be sad, you can be hurt, and you still can have joy. That's what joy means. Joy is another words for like you can say, I'm feeling bad right now, and you take courage is to do something, but you still don't feel good, but you still putting forth an efforts to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like you have people that will take and buy their kids a whole lot of stuff, and somehow they thinking that what they doing, what they are doing for them, their children, they thinking that somehow or another it's gonna take away the problems. It just goes to show you money can't buy peace. That's also another thing too. Money cannot buy peace because if you don't, if you don't accept what I'm saying, you don't have to accept what I'm saying. If all you have to do, if you want to know whether if I'm saying or whether it's what I'm saying is accurate, truth, or whatever, you don't have to look no further. All you have to do is look around on the media. You see what I'm saying here? Look on online, look at the videos, look at what's going on in the like Hollywood industry. This is no put down to our black men and black women who have made it, who are very successful and stuff like that. I have much love for all of my people. You see what I'm saying? I don't need, that's why I say I don't feel no need to put their names or nothing like that. I don't need to do that. I can just put just a regular name in here and just say what I need to say. You know what I mean? I don't believe in going against my people no matter what, things of that nature because it's just, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me kind of cut corners with this video. Money, and go back to my original point. Money cannot bring happiness. It's only temporary. Joy, matter of fact, let's look. Let me get the definition. Let's go and see if I can get the definition of what joy is. Let's look at that. What is the definition of joy?
Here's the definition of joy: a feeling of great pleasure and happiness.
Okay, it says feeling of great pleasure or happiness. It has many different definitions of what it is. Joy is a choice. Okay, it's a choice. Notice it didn't say it's a feeling. You see what I'm saying? Notice it didn't say that joy was a feeling, right? It says right here, joy is a choice. Rick Warren gives us this definition of joy. Joy is the setting assurance that God is in control, okay, of all of the details of my life. See, that's what it is. Joy could mean to me, it can mean different things to different people. Joy could mean you see a way out. Joy means you're feeling bad, but it's still you still find a way out. Joy is not based upon a feeling. You see what I'm saying? Happiness is based upon emotions in which deals with feelings. It says The quiet confidence that ultimate. That's what I was saying. Joy is a choice. Joy is the setting assurance that God is in control of all details of my life. The quick confidence that ultimately everything is going to be all right. And the permanent choice to praise God in every situation. Now, that came up in it, but joy just simply means trust in Him in spite of how you feel. Joy means you can be in complete fear and can still say, I see a way out in spite of how you feel. Joy means taking the courage even when you feel or when you don't feel like doing certain things. And you still push yourself even in that hurting moment, or physical, or mentally, or emotionally. Joy means you stand in this of no matter what's going on. It doesn't mean it's to be feeling good and happy and you doing all this type of stuff. No, feeling good. Oh, I feel so good. Because joy is not an emotion. Joy is a trust. It means you trust Him through it. You know, you trust Him through the situation. Joy means when you have no hope left, when you just completely hopeless. You know, that's all it means. It just simply means, like what I just said. Okay, let me go ahead and turn the camera on. Yeah, it just simply means you have no hope, but you still say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this anyway. At your weakest point, you're doing it. You know, and that's exactly what it means. Yep. So um, never think, no matter what you do for your family, no matter what you do for your children, no matter what you do, that's with anybody, whether you be in a low position, whether you rich, poor, whatever, it doesn't really matter. In spite of what you got, it just goes to show you. Sometimes, have you ever heard people say sometimes your money can't get you out of trouble? Sometimes it can't. You can be sick if you can be rich, but if you sick and you suffering, you got a bunch of illness, what good is your money gonna do? What good is your wealth? You can't enjoy it. So you still pissing in the wind. So a lot of people need to think of it. I just decided that I just come and bring this video just to show us, say something, and just sit down and just listen. If you're listening to this video, just think about that. This is something that a lot of our people can think about. You know what I mean? Because it put me to thinking. You know, yeah. So I mean, because I was sitting up thinking, and something just told me maybe you ought to talk about that and just check off into that, and it just you might want to just think about that because it is because you have a lot of people that been killed. They was rich and they killed themselves. You see what I'm saying? But if you got joy, you can be poor, but if you got joy, you rich. The definition of being rich is somebody who has joy, peace. You see what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people who got a lot of money and they happy, but they still miserable at the same time. So you cannot be miserable Where you got some people who only have a fixed income and barely making it from one month to the next, but they got a happy face on them. You got some people have millions of dollars in the bank, but they overbearing with stress, worry, and everything. And guess what they doing to themselves? The rich is killing themselves, while the poor is looked down upon and stuff, rejected, and you be like, oh, the hell with this shit. I'm gonna make this shit. No matter what, you still hold on and you still be strong. That's what you call joy. That's not happiness. Happiness is based upon the feeling and emotions, you know? So, a lot of people just need to get that out their mind, you know, that money can bring happiness because it can't. It can bring temporarily happiness, but it don't bring joy, you know? So I'm gonna head up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later.